Hello and welcome to another booktube video. So I only seem to come out at Halloween, which is a bit weird. So I am trying to do this in under 10 minutes. That is my goal. 12 minutes absolute max. So we are going to rush through. I have removed a book from this thing. This is my third time filming it because the battery keeps dying. So Cold Bath Street. So Preston Alcorn lays quite still, eyes tight shut, trying to shrug off the cold grip of the nightmare. It was 9:22 p.m. It's always 9:22 p.m. A cold hand has plunged into Preston's chest and tightened his icy grip around his heart. In an instant, Preston was dead. Preston finds himself in a desolated void, trapped in the realm between life and death. Soon discovering that he is not alone, Preston must stay one step ahead of his enemies and discover the mysteries held by this new world as he tries to save his soul. But doing so means braving the darkest and most feared part of town, Cold Bath Street. So I'm going to try and keep the book here and hope that is in view, because I have a mirror behind me that is really smudged. So this book, I can't remember very much. I read it in November last year. He dies. He basically tries to communicate with his parents in a living world. As soon as he dies, he tries to go to his bedroom because he thinks he's been dead for a little bit. Finds out his parents have moved out and the new family have been in there for a while, because time travels differently. So he tries to contact with the teenage girl now in his room. She doesn't believe him at first, just thinks it's a figment of imagination, and then realises it's true. They look up some part of the old past of town. There's a really weird, creepy past to it. I can't remember what. And she basically tries to help him through his afterlife. I'm going to move along. How to Hang a Witch was my latest read. I finished this book, I say latest, probably about a month and a half ago. I've been in a really bad reading slump. So the trials of high school start to feel like a modern-day witch hunt for Samantha Matters, who has all the wrong connections to Salem past. To say Sam is unwelcome in Salem would be an understatement. She is the target of the Descendants, a mystery group of girls whose ancestors were prosecuted in the witch trials. Complicating her life further is Elijah, an inconveniently handsome resident ghost, and her new neighbour Jackson. When the century-old curse is rekindled, Sam finds herself at the centre of it. Can she stop history repeating herself? Her dad's in a coma. She moves with her stepmom into her dad's mum's house. Her nan is dead. They basically inherited it. She feels really off that she can't visit her dad. She has to start a new school. She doesn't fit in because I think her family were witch hunters. Not sure. Or someone in the family led a witch hunt. And the Descendants have it in for her, even though knowing absolutely nothing apart from her family name. She gets help from this weird ghost who just... I don't remember much about the ghost. And her next door neighbour. I thought it was going to be a love triangle. I absolutely hate love triangles unless they're done well. And there's actually a storyline apart from a love triangle. This wasn't that case. It didn't have a really bad love triangle. It was a really good book. I think I reviewed it at 4 or 5 stars. The review is on my book blog unless it is in my backlogs. We're going very quick. Say a name. I read this as a Kindle book, so this book is actually unread, which is why it's in a nice peak position. I will reread it. I have only read it once, and that was ages ago. I think it was before November last year, so we will see how much I remember. When Bobby and her best friend Naya are dared by their schoolmates to summon a legendary ghost of Bloody Mary, neither believe that anything will happen, so they complete the ritual and chant Mary's name 5 times in front of a candlelit mirror. Something is called forth that night, something dark, terrifying, and out of control. She will be there just outside in the corner of her eye. She will lurk in your nightmares, she will hide in the shadow of your bedroom, and she will be waiting in every mirror you see. She will be everywhere and she wants revenge. I think she starts killing people. Don't quote me on that, but I think. I actually can't remember very much about this book. I reviewed it quite highly. The review is going to be way back on my blog. You might have to search the name. If you search the name of these on my Tumblr, they should come up. If you don't know, I am Slenderman-bookworm-guy. I will put the name below. The trouble with Perfect, I probably should have removed this book, because this is the second book in a trilogy. The latest book has literally just been released. There is geese flying outside. I live in a really weird village. Don't ask. This first book is somewhere in one of these boxes. Most of my books are boxed up. The books I have on my bookcase are literally all I can access. And most of them were books I haven't read because I was trying to finish my to-be-read pile. So strange things are happening in the town that used to be perfect. Things that are being stolen, the children start going missing too, and everyone is blaming Violet's best friend boy. To find out what's going on, Violet must uncover secrets in the past and battle a gruesome zombie monster. Town is in trouble, double trouble, and it's up to Violet to save it. So the first book, we're going to completely ignore this book. This is just here for reference, is called A Place Called Perfect. I don't know where the focus point is on this camera because it keeps changing. She moves to this new town with her family. This is the first book. We're ignoring this one. This is just cover picture. Her dad works for an optician's. Everyone's drinking this really weird tea and wearing these really weird glasses, and Violet thinks that's really odd. And then her parents start acting really weird, and then she finds out everyone in the town is acting weird. They think everything is literally perfect. They couldn't be happier. Violet doesn't drink the tea. She wears the glasses, I think, and then she doesn't. And she is the only one immune to it. She meets this boy called Boy, who lives on another side of town, which she didn't know. People on one side of town think everything is perfect to drink this tea, wearing their glasses. The other side are basically just left to their own devices. They don't drink it. They probably found out what was going on. There are these weird flowers with eyes, you'll notice on the cover, that basically watch everyone. The Box of Demons. The apocalypse began in a small seaside town in Wales. So basically Ben has this box that's full of 3 demons. He's had it since he was a child. It was really fun, and as he's grown up, it's not so much fun. He wants to get rid of them. An angel visits him and tells him he can get rid of the box by sending it back to hell, but the box does not want to go. I actually do not remember that much about this book. This is a kid's book, same as this. So I love kids' books. I always recommend kids' book. The cover is illustrated by Chris Randall. It's quite a short book. I think I read it in one go. The review, again, is on my book blog somewhere. I might have to look up. The Haunting of Hill House, I have not read. So Hill House is not sane, stood by itself against the hills, holding darkness within whatever walked there, walked alone. Something that is working in a hill house when a group of troubled people come to stay, they begin to experience things they cannot understand or explain, and they are forced to confront their darkest fears. The house is gathering its powers, and soon it will choose to make one of them its own. Shirley is the author, but you will, if you've seen the Netflix thing, she is the oldest sister. They added her character in. Luke, Ben, Theodora and Eleanor are characters in this book. I have a feeling they are not related. Again, I haven't read that, but it has come highly recommended. I got it in a book subscription thing, so I thought I would include it in. That, obviously, is adult. This is adult. I would not recommend anyone under the age of 15 reads it, and that is coming from someone who read Stephen King's Shining at 12 years old. By my grandfather's ghost, the email read. So Judas did. First it made the house go cold and the dogs bark. Now it's going to make him run for his life. So there's this email pops up of this auction, and he decides to buy this suit. The suit is haunted by a ghost. On this email, on this auction thing, it says absolutely no refunds. Because you are buying a suit that comes with a ghost that comes in a heart-shaped box. By Joe Hill, which is Stephen King's son. If you didn't know that. This ghost tries to kill him, takes over his life, basically. He is around 40-ish, and he lives with a 20-year-old he is, like, dating. I don't know if they're dating as such. Yeah, there was a list of books that people had to put down because they were too scary. This was on it. It wasn't scary as such, but then I've never found a horror book scary. Because I've been reading horror since I was little. It is quite creepy. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone young because, if I remember rightly, some parts are quite graphic. Suicide is involved, I think. It was like someone was committed suicide, and I can't remember if they found out it wasn't suicide, but yeah, someone dies. Drugs are involved, alcohol is obviously involved, and sex is involved. I don't think there is a lot of sex in this, because I don't read books with a lot of sex in. There is also masturbation in this. This is probably going to get my video taken down, but we'll see if it does, I would say. Zombie is a own adventure game. You play as a zombie or a survivor. You need a pen and paper. Everything is explained in the front. You choose whether to go into certain buildings, pick up certain things, have medication. I'm checking the time of what I'm doing. I'm alright. We're doing alright. 12 minutes, it starts separating into 2 files, and I cannot be doing an edit. I don't like editing. I like to literally just upload it. That's what all my videos are shooting. So, because I'm lazy. Yeah, you play as a survivor or a zombie. But yeah, it's a pretty good game. I recommend doing it in one go, though. I put it down for a bit and had absolutely no idea what I was doing afterwards. Slenderman. So this book is in my header photo on Tumblr. Someone asked me about it before, and I thought I'd do it again. So I actually can't read the back because some designer decided it would be brilliant if every couple of letters would be dark on a black and white background. So it's like a typewriter that's running out of ink, and it's horrible because my brain just inserts letters. So I can read it in my head slowly, but I can't read it out loud. There's like a filter thing that goes wrong. So basically, Lauren goes missing and her friends tell her story. It's told through texts, email, police articles. I'll tell you. The light is bad. Police articles, newspaper articles, literally every way apart from the normal stories told. It was really good, and it was actually really different to read. It was really good. I think I gave that about 5 stars. All of these books, apart from Hill House, are reviewed on my book blog. Just type it in on the search bar on my blog. And I am going to wrap this up because I try to keep these as short as I can, and I have waffled on long enough. So until my next video, goodbye.